Well, well, well. Breaking news, Dallas Cowboys fans. Breaking news. I don't know if you've been keeping track of the games that are going on today, have went on today and are currently going on. I'm praying for Micah Parsons. But Micah Parsons may be done for the season. Micah Parsons just had a non-contact injury, and that thing looked terrible. I'm praying that Micah Parsons is not done for the season. But I'm telling you, I think he's done for the season. That knee buckled and switched almost to the other side. He walked off the field. But I think Micah Parsons is seriously hurt. Non-contact injury. I think he's seriously hurt. I will not be surprised if they come back and announce that he is done for the season. And to really just put this into football language, the Chicago Bears beat the Browns today. They flipped to first place, and the Packers flipped to the 7th seed. Do y'all realize that the Green Bay Packers, I told y'all this before, they have the hardest schedule of all of these playoff teams left? I mean, they have a gauntlet of a schedule. My fear is, though, I would have rather tied with the Chicago Bears, because if we end with the same amount of wins, then we get the tiebreaker over the Bears. My issue is, I don't know if we tie with the Green Bay Packers, and I do think if we tie with the Green Bay Packers, they win the tiebreaker. But it is ironic because their next 3 games, I wouldn't be surprised if they folded on all 3 of those games. We are really about to see the impact of Micah Parsons on the Green Bay Packers and how this could actually impact the Cowboys' wild card chances. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. And we are live. We are still going to keep this all about the Dallas Cowboys. This is all about the Dallas Cowboys. I'm just painting a scenario for you that this is why the Cowboys have got to keep winning. The Cowboys have got to keep winning because you never know what's going to happen down the stretch of a season. Welcome, 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 Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And we are live. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, what are you waiting on? We got a lot more things coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. This thing with Micah Parsons is crazy. Their wide receiver, Watson, went down. I think Watson could be done for the season. I think he has suffered a severe shoulder injury. Man, you take away Watson, you take away Parsons. This is why the Cowboys have to keep playing. You never know what's going to happen. Injuries are a part of the game. The NFL is a battle of attrition. You have to, whoever is the healthiest and whoever gets the hottest down the stretch, anything can happen. Man, and let me tell you, the Denver Broncos were already coming back on them. The Denver Broncos aren't going to beat the Green Bay Packers because Watson and Parsons went down. They were already starting to mollywop them. They were already starting to mop them up. We're looking at the Detroit Lions. Man, last time I looked, the Rams have scored something like 20-something unanswered points. They're mopping the Rams. They're mopping the Detroit Lions. This is why you have to continue to play. The Cowboys, I still say the Cowboys control their destiny. I still say they control their destiny. If the Cowboys go 10-6-1, I believe they get in. And they have to believe that too, and they have got to play like it tonight. Let's get a quick roll call, see what we got going on. Then we're going to get to this quick pregame show because we're going to get out of here about 7:05. Game's going to start around 7:15, and then I'll see y'all again after the game tonight. Terry Tatum, Derek Jones, Marvin May. What's going on, Marvin Mays? Brandy is in this thing. What's going on? Michio, what up with you? Aaron Biley, what's going on with you? Mills, ACL, Packers are done. Mills, I think it's an ACL. I think it's an ACL. I hope it's not, but I think it is. 5 points of the star. What's going on? Brandy said, reminds me of Greenlaw's injury during his time with the 49ers. And the crazy thing is, Brandy, on grass. On grass. Not even on turf, on grass. Trent Smith, he said he gone for the season. Have they already announced it? KH8641, what's going on? Matt LaFleur, hey, let me tell you something, Mills. The Michael Parsons injury may give him another year. They might give him another year. Roy Clay, what's going on? Chris Dunaway in this thing. Devin Mills, he said Parsons and Mahomes hurting the same week, even though KC is out of the playoffs. Crazy. Big Moss Dog, what's going on? Angie Gillis, what's going on? Let's get this thing. Mr. Get Dirty, what's going on with you? K Choice, what up? And Trent Smith. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. It is JCT Slice. Gee, we have to win this one. We do. I think Buffalo beats Philadelphia. I agree. So that'll help. But we need to win out. There's still life as long as we have 4. We still have 4. Sir Nose! What up, Sir Nose? It is the real estate vet. Oh, what's going on? He said, what up, dog? Oxtails and Cowboys double win today. What up with you? All right. I don't think they've announced, unless the last time I looked, they hadn't announced it, but I do think they are going to announce. I do believe they are going to announce that Michael Parsons is done for the season. This is why the Cowboys have got to keep playing. You never know how this is going to shake down in the end, and the Cowboys need to win out. I still stand by it. If the Cowboys win out, I believe they go to the playoffs. If they win out. And don't be fooled by the Rams today. Don't be fooled by the Eagles today. I figured the Eagles would beat the Raiders. Kenny Pickett couldn't do it. The Eagles were too much for the Raiders. The Eagles were too much for the Raiders. But just watch these next 2 games. These next 2 games are what I have my eye on. I believe the Commanders are going to come out and they're going to give the Philadelphia Eagles fits in both of these games. And I got a feeling the Commanders are going to pull one of these games out against the Eagles. And I do believe the Buffalo Bills are just going to flat out beat them. I do believe the Buffalo Bills are going to flat out beat the Philadelphia Eagles. So the Cowboys have got to win out. Let's kind of look at the road to the playoffs. I want to look at the updated road to the playoffs as things are transpiring right now. Hold on a second. But as things are transpiring right now, as some of these games are in progress, and we can pretty much guess what some of these games and how they're going to end. We can pretty much guess. let's kind of look at the road to the playoffs first, and then we're going to get into our keys to winning the game tonight. But as we look at Week 15, I've updated it some already with some wins and losses on here. Looking at the road to the playoffs for Week 15, the Bears, they're already 10-4. The Eagles are already 9-5. I do believe the Packers are going to fall to 9-4-1. The 49ers are going to be 10-4. We kind of figured that. The Rams are getting the Lions are getting mollywopped by the Rams. The Lions are going to be 8-6. We're going to see what the Cowboys do tonight. And it looks like the Panthers are going to pull it out against the Panthers are going to pull it out against the New Orleans Saints, or at least last I checked. So when we look at the Lions, I have a feeling the Lions are going to, so they're losing today. They have 3 more games to go. 3 more games to go. I still say the Bears are probably going to beat the Lions the last game of the season. And then we'll see if the Steelers and the Vikings can overcome the Lions. But I still see the Lions only finishing with 10 wins. Only 10 wins. Next up, Bears. The Bears, of course, they beat the Browns. The Bears beat the Browns. The Bears beat the Browns. The Bears are 10-4. They're going to flop. They're going to flip-flop. The Green Bay Packers are now going to go to the 7th seed. My only issue with the Green Bay Packers tying with the Dallas Cowboys is the Packers have actually beat some teams the Cowboys have lost to. And so if the Cowboys and the Packers both finish 10-6-1, that tiebreaker is going to go to the Packers. I would actually rather the Bears be the 7th seed, because if they were 10-7, we would beat them by that half a game. 49ers, no, we're not worried about. Again, the Bears, I believe the Bears are going to probably finish around, I think they're going to finish either 11-4 or 12-4. And I do believe Ben Johnson is going to win the Coach of the Year. I think right now he is running away with Coach of the Year. Kevin Howard, the Queen, is in the building. What's going on? Ron Hanna, what's going on? Panthers again. I think the Panthers are going to beat the Saints. They got 3 tough games. I think they're going to lose 2 of the last 3. I do think the Bucs are going to beat the Panthers in one of those games, and I think the Seahawks will beat the Panthers. I do think the Panthers are going to finish at 9-8. I don't think the Cowboys are going to have to worry about the Panthers. The Vikings, I think the Vikings will pretty much be toast. Then we got the 49ers again, like I said. I think they're going to easily beat the Titans. They did beat the Titans. The Colts will be next. But again, I told y'all this. Even with Michael Parsons playing, even with Watson playing, this I said already. The Packers had the hardest games down the stretch. This is the hardest schedule of all the teams left down the stretch, at least in my estimation. At the Broncos were already starting to put hands on the Green Bay Packers, and I think whether Parsons stayed in the game or not, they were going to get beat. The Bears are going to beat the Packers in Chicago because they almost beat them in Green Bay. The Ravens, I believe they're going to be playing for the playoff lives. Don't be shocked if they also beat the Green Bay Packers. The only issue is I don't think the Vikings can beat the Green Bay Packers. So even if the Green Bay Packers go on a 3-game slide, I just don't think the Vikings will beat them. But I'll tell you this, the Cowboys still need to play their game. The Cowboys still need to win out, because what if the Packers do go on a 4-game slide? What if they do go on a 4-game slide? But also, as I think about the Philadelphia Eagles, y'all don't be fooled by the Philadelphia Eagles. We kind of figured they would beat the Raiders today. We're not surprised. We kind of figured they would beat the Raiders. The last 3 games, I will not be shocked if they lose 2 of the last 3. But whatever the case may be, this is why the Cowboys need to win out. You're going to start to see the Cowboys get their help next week. That's why this week is so important. They have to keep winning. They have to keep winning. because the Bears are not out of the woodworks. The Packers are in the woodworks. The Cowboys need to win out. I still contend if the Cowboys win out, they're going to the playoffs. They have to win out. That's all they have to do is win out. If they win out, I believe things will fall where they need to fall for the Dallas Cowboys. This is a big deal. Very big deal for the Cowboys. And so as we go to the Cowboys and the keys to victory tonight for the Cowboys in week 15, as we go to the keys to victory for the Cowboys, I'm really interested in y'all's comments.
Yes! Here we go!
This is a big deal to me. I don't know how y'all are looking at this, and I'm very interested to see how y'all are looking at this. Y'all let me know in the comments. This is a big deal to me. I want to see if the Cowboys can rise to the occasion. Will the Dallas Cowboys rise to the occasion tonight? Because I want to know, can Brian Schottenheimer, now that the Marshawn Kneeland, they wrote that for 3 weeks. I'm going to give them some benefit of the doubt. 4 games in a very short span of time. The Detroit Lions had a great game plan. Cowboys look sloppy. They've had a 10-day break. There is no excuse to have a 10-day break and then you play the Vikings at your house. There is no way the Vikings are supposed to come in here and beat the Dallas Cowboys. There is no way the Vikings should come in here and beat the Dallas Cowboys, because I'm looking at this from the perspective of Brian Schottenheimer is a rookie coach. I'm going to give Brian Schottenheimer the benefit of the doubt of being a rookie coach. But what I'm also going to tell us, when I look at Jimmy Johnson, when I look at Bill Parcells, when I look at Jason Garrett, even when I look at Mike McCarthy, I contend that Brian Schottenheimer, in his rookie season as a coach, I believe Brian Schottenheimer has more than those coaches ever had when they first started. He has way more than they have. Brian Schottenheimer has prime time. He has prime Dak Prescott, prime CeeDee Lamb, prime in a contract year George Pickens, a good nucleus of an offensive line. The tackles are struggling to me, but BB, Smith, and Booker are incredible. Javonte Williams, I believe he's exceeded expectations. He's been really, really good. The Cowboys have enough offensively to be dominating, because I'm telling you now, looking out there today at some of the games, I'm sorry, I just don't think Sean McVay has as much firepower on offense as the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think Sean McVay has as much firepower. I don't think Ben Johnson has as much firepower. I don't think Kyle Shanahan has as much firepower. I don't think they have the firepower that we have offensively and even defensively. I'm telling you now, if Matt Eberflus doesn't come out here tonight with a game plan, I'm saying this in the nicest way, but I'm going in on Matt Eberflus tonight, because Matt Eberflus got talent too now. Yeah, I know the corners ain't this, the corners ain't that, safeties ain't this, linebackers this. I get it. But he's still got enough weapons. I don't think he has enough weapons to be a top 5 defense. I don't even think he has enough weapons to be a top 10 defense. but I do think he has enough weapons to be a top 20 defense. I think the Cowboys have given him enough to where he could be at the number 20, 21, 22 spot. Matt Eberflus has enough. This Dallas Cowboys team is better, at least in my estimation. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. This team currently constructed is better than the 2023 team that Mike McCarthy took to the playoffs against Green Bay. That team would run circles around this team. That team. This team would run circles around that team. I'm giving Brian Schottenheimer the benefit of the doubt of I don't expect him to go to the Super Bowl. But with what he has, I'm going to make it this simple. I do expect him to beat the Minnesota Vikings tonight. I don't give a doggone what game plan I don't give a doggone what game plan Brian Flores comes in here with. I don't care if O'Connell is a good play caller. If you let J.J. McCarthy, if they allow J.J. McCarthy to come in here and look like a doggone first-round draft pick quarterback, I'm going to have problems. And the reason why I'm saying all of this game is one of those games. This is not just about the skill of the Cowboys. This game is about the will of the Cowboys. What kind of will do they have? Do they really, really want it? Is Brian Schottenheimer approaching this game like he really wants it? Is he crossing the T's, dotting the I's? Is he giving the pep talk? Is he really laying it on, hey, okay, championship opportunity. This is the playoffs. I want to know, can he get this team up? Can he get this team up and get them to rise to the occasion? I want to know. Because this is one of those games. You have got to get your team. Don't tell me this is just another name. Don't tell me this is just another game, just another championship opportunity. This is not just another championship opportunity. The playoffs started last week. And that may be the very game, even if you went out. You may look at that game and say, that was the game that kept us out of the playoffs. But you got to keep playing. You got to rise to the occasion in this game. I've said this before. I don't agree when people try to keep every game. I'm not saying that you should be too up or too down. Because I do think you got to learn how to be kind of somewhere hovering in those middle zones. But I still say there are games that you play. You have to figure out ways to get your team riled up and revved up. You got to find things, little things that motivate them and give them that extra edge. Hey, you know what? They were talking about y'all mama today. Let me tell you what they said. I'm just telling you, you got to get guys a little bit more revved up. I want to see what they do. I want to see, will they come out with intensity? Will Brian have them coming out with intensity? Will they be physical tonight? The Cowboys have got to take care of their business. I want to know if Brian's going to do that. This is a test not of skill for me. This is a test of will. I think Brian Schottenheimer is the coach for the Cowboys. My question is he the play caller for the Cowboys? Because all of that stuff that he done, people, I love, that's my coach and blah, blah, blah. When it's got to start translating on the field sooner than later. Tonight is a big deal game. It is a huge deal. I want to see, can the Cowboys rise to the occasion? I want to know. All right, let's get a couple of updates on some scores real quick. So it looks like the Denver Broncos are up on the Green Bay Packers 34-26 with about that looks about 4 minutes to go in the game. That is going to benefit the Cowboys. The Rams are mollywopping the Detroit Lions. The score at this point is 41-34, 2 minutes to go in the game. Let's see, I can't tell who has the ball, but it is 40. Oh, okay, the Rams have the ball. So it looks like the Rams are going to win that game. It looks like the New Orleans Saints may hold off the Carolina Panthers. The score is 20-17. I never was worried about the Carolina Panthers. I never was worried about them. So we don't have to really worry about those guys. But the teams now we got to be looking at: Green Bay, Bears, and Eagles. I still contend, if the Cowboys win out, they're making the playoffs. They're either going through the wild card or they're going to win the division. Book it. You watch what I tell you. Ron Hanna, he said, "Gee, I agree. I agree. He's our head coach, but I think we need someone else to call plays." Hey. I'm telling us, man. I'm wondering if he's the play caller for the Cowboys. I'm wondering if he's the play caller. All right, let's see here. Justin Bradley, he said, G said Pickett and the Raiders would beat Philly today. Philly beat the dog out of LV. Well, Justin Bradley, I said I thought Pickett would have a chance. And I said it wouldn't surprise me if they beat the Philadelphia Eagles today. Philadelphia Eagles defense was too much. Philly's defense was too much. The Raiders just aren't good on offense. It's not just Geno Smith. They're just not good. They're just not good. And I'm not impressed with the Eagles beating the Raiders. They have the Commanders next week. Watch what I tell you. I am going to be shocked if the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Commanders 2 times in 3 weeks. I'm not telling you they're not going to do it, but I'm going to be shocked if they pull it off. That's a tall glass, man. That's a tall glass. Justin Bradley, I really want it. This is a test of fortitude tonight. How bad do you want it? How bad do the Cowboys want it? Anthony Jefferson. I haven't heard anything on Parsons, but I'm telling you this. I was watching that game when it happened and watching the replay. I think his knee is done. I think Parsons is done for the season. And I feel bad. I really feel bad for Parsons. The one thing you don't want to see happen to Parsons or any player is an injury. Is an injury like that. And I hate that for Parsons. That is not the way you want that season to end. But you know what would be irony to me? And I mean this in the most respectful way. But do you know what would really be irony? Would it not be irony that with the going down of Watson and then Michael Parsons, that the Green Bay Packers lose out and they become the very reason why the Cowboys go to the playoffs? This is why you got to keep winning. This is why you have to take care of your business. You have to keep winning. Because this league, man, you never know. Because what could happen will happen. What people say won't happen sometimes happen. Somebody says, oh, man, the Cowboys need way too much help. You never know who's going down. This is why the Cowboys have got to take care of the business. They have got to come out tonight. And I want to know, can Brian Schottenheimer will push this team to win this game? We've talked about the storylines. and I'm going to stick to these storylines. Are the Cowboys ready for a playoff run? Because if they don't win tonight, they're not ready for a playoff run. They're not ready for a playoff run at this point in time if they don't win tonight. Because I'm telling y'all, if the Cowboys can win out, this is going to go so far towards helping them be what they want to be next season. This is a big game. I want to know. I talked about this. I want to know which defense showing up tonight. Which one's showing up tonight, Matt Eberflus? Are we going to see the defense that showed up against the Raiders, the Eagles, and the Kansas City Chiefs? Are we going to watch that team? Is that the defense we're going to watch? Or are we going to watch the pre trade deadline and then the Detroit Lions game? Is that the one we're going to see? I want to know which defense shows up tonight. I want to see the game plan. Shotty's got to have a better game plan for George Pickens. I still say Shotty relies way too much on the talent. He's not putting the talent in the best position to win. I want to see his play calling. Because when you look at the Rams got talent. But what Sean McVay does so well is he puts that talent in situations to win. He doesn't just say, I got a talented team. No, he says, no, I'm a great play caller. I'm a great play caller with great players. And I'm going to put them in situations to where they can make great plays, where it's not just about their athletic ability. It's about the fact that they are great and I am a great play caller. I want to see what he does tonight. Is he going to stay with that stale slant? Because now teams are trying to catch up with that slant play. So what are you going to do to stop him? I want to see. Because I'm telling y'all right now, do y'all know the Vikings are stepping up in here too, talking about, hey, man, we might could make the playoffs too. Y'all ain't making no playoffs. But they're telling themselves that. I bet you the Vikings are telling themselves that. I bet you they're telling themselves anything can happen. They're telling themselves those things. I really want to know, can Brian Schottenheimer get this team to rise to the occasion? I'm agreeing. I agree with y'all. I agree. Marvin Mays says, Shotty got to mix it up tonight. Got to open up that playbook. Corliss Piper, he says Schottenheimer has no creativity. Man, let me tell you something, Corliss. You know when I know he doesn't have any creativity? When my wife says he don't have creativity, he don't have creativity. Mont Bob, you don't, man, I don't even think, Mont Bob, you know how what you said is so. I don't even think you know how powerful what you said is. I don't think you even understand it. And I'm not saying it in a bad way. What I'm saying is, man, your statement is so powerful. Never know with this team. Mont Bob, this is why I say this game is big. Brian Schottenheimer needs to break the generational curse of the Dallas Cowboys. We have had these stigmas with other coaches, other players throughout this 30-year drought, that when the Cowboys can make that next step, they don't make that next step. I want to know, can Brian Schottenheimer make that next step? It's his rookie coaching season. But the reason why I'm expecting more out of him, because I believe Jerry is expecting more out of him. And the reason why I believe Jerry is expecting more out of him is that he has a better squad in his first season as a coach, as a head coach, than I can remember Jimmy had, than I can remember Bill Parcells had, Jason Garrett had, Mike McCarthy had. This has got to be one of the best starting teams for a coach I can remember for the Cowboys. I don't think anybody's had I don't think anybody's had a team with this much talent. I don't think any of the Cowboys coaches in the past have had this much talent starting out. And so for that reason, not to mention, Brian Schottenheimer ain't no one of these young coaches like Garrett was. He's not one of these young coaches. No, he's been around this game for 25 plus years, and that ought to speak to something. He's got to break generational curses. How about when you need to win? Win. Win. The Cowboys are more talented than the doggone Vikings. Question, will the Cowboys stop J.J. McCarthy? Will the Cowboys stop Aaron Jones? Will Justin Jefferson bounce back? For as much as we say Matt Eberflus doesn't use, he's not using the weapons right, I'm going to tell you, I don't think Brian Schottenheimer is either. For the weapons that he has on offense, I want to see more. This is the type of season that can catapult you into being the team to beat next season, the team that goes to the Super Bowl next season. The Cowboys need to finish this thing strong. They need to finish this season. They need to finish with a 4-game. They need to finish with a 4-game run. They need to do this. This will help this team exponentially. We have got to stop, as the coaching staff, they have got to stop letting losing be acceptable. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Jimmy would never accept from his coaches. Yeah, we got our coach today. It begins with if it begins with you, then it's the end for you. Because you're telling me that if it started with you, then why didn't you do your part? You let the team down. You let the players down. It is time. Matt Eberflus ain't no spring chicken. Matt Eberflus is an ex-head coach. I'm not going to give Matt Eberflus the leeway. I'm not going to give him the leeway I would be giving a young coach. I'm not going to give it to him. I'm not even going to give Brian Schottenheimer as much leeway. I'm not expecting the Super Bowl from Brian Schottenheimer. I already told y'all that was a tall glass. But what I am expecting from him is that you beat the teams you're supposed to beat. And we haven't done that this season. We let the Arizona Cardinals come in our house and beat us. We better not let the Vikings come in here and beat us. Shotty has benefited from his players being elite players rather than him having great play calling with elite players. Because if his play calling was better, I still say the Cowboys would probably have 3 more wins. I still say they would have 3 more wins. I don't think they lose to Carolina. I don't even think they lose to Arizona. I don't even think they lose to the Denver Broncos. Man, I'm watching Patrick Surtain tonight, and me and my son were laughing. Jordan Love had the unmitigated gall to go, and I know it's the right read. Watson on Patrick Surtain, man to man. Oh, it's the right read to throw it to Watson. Bro, let me tell you something. With Patrick Surtain on him.
No.
Man, when he threw that ball in the air. Man, when Jordan Love threw that ball in the air, I said, man, that's an interception. Patrick Surtain, bro, stop it. Stop it. I said it was an interception then. We're more talented. We're more talented than the Vikings. We're absolutely more talented than the Vikings. I can't. I'm struggling, and I'm struggling. Unless there is something that happens out of the ordinary, I cannot accept, even though I will have to, I cannot accept the Minnesota Vikings beating the Dallas Cowboys tonight. I cannot accept it. And Brian Schottenheimer ought not accept it. It is not good enough tonight. It is not good enough tonight. Especially looking at what's happening in front of you. You just watched the Lions get beat. You just watched the Packers get beat. You watched Michael Parsons and Watson go down, and they're both probably done for the season. It is not good enough tonight to step to the podium. It is not good enough tonight to step to the podium and say, we got out-coached. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. It is not acceptable. And that is the mentality. That is the mentality that Brian Schottenheimer has to come at his team like that. But I don't know if that's in him to do that. But that is my mentality. I would tell my team, there are no excuses tonight. There are no excuses. This is our house. Man, sometimes you just got to tell your team, we're better than them. I'm telling my team we're better than them. We're better than them. The only way they beat us is we don't execute. Because I got a game plan out of this world. I got to put that kind of confidence in my team. My game plan tonight is flawless. I have looked at everything I believe that the Vikings could do. I've studied the last 3 games. I have studied teams that play similar to us. I have done all those things. And if y'all will put y'all trust in the game plan is flawless. I just need y'all to execute. I'm telling my team, because I'm not stepping to the podium tonight. I'm not stepping to the podium tonight explaining why we lost. I'm not doing it. It is time. It is time. This has been a long season for the Cowboys. So many ups and downs. But it is time now to take off the training wheels. Matt Eberflus, no more training wheels. No more training wheels, Matt Eberflus. No more training wheels. Demarion Overshown is a full go. If you don't use Demarion Overshown for something other than just playing linebacker, if you don't use him in blitz packages, if you don't move him around as a chess piece, it's your fault. And you got to get out of here. If I'm Jerry, you got to get out of here. You're not, if I'm Jerry Jones, I'm telling y'all, we can love or hate Jerry Jones, but I'm going to tell you, if I'm Jerry Jones, I'm not accepting a loss tonight. I'm not accepting a loss tonight. And y'all know I've been very, 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 a lot of grace. I've shown a lot of grace to Matt Eberflus. I'm telling y'all this now, and you haven't heard me say this before. I'm telling y'all now. If it was me, if the Minnesota Vikings come out here and dominate the Cowboys offensively, and the Cowboys lose, Matt Eberflus doesn't coach another game for me. He done. I'm firing Matt Eberflus tonight. If it's me. It's that crucial for me. I'm not giving no excuses about this is a rookie. This is a rookie coaching staff. I got that grace. I can get with that. But what I can't get with is allowing the Minnesota Vikings to come into Dallas with J.J. McCarthy and beat us tonight. No. I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting that tonight. And Brian Schottenheimer ought to be telling his team, I'm not accepting a loss tonight. I'm not accepting it. I'm not going to the podium. I'm not going to the podium with this nonsense. Let's look at the injury report. I'm going to come back and read some comments. CeeDee Lamb, of course, has been cleared. He's going to be out there tonight. I think he's going to ball out. Guyton, I believe, has been ruled out. Diggs is ruled out. I'm going to circle the block on this Trayvon Diggs story. I'm going to circle the block on this Trayvon Diggs story. And the reason why I'm going to circle the block on this Trayvon Diggs story is because this Trayvon Diggs story, this has the potential to be a megaton bomb. If that Cowboys secondary get torched tonight, even if people don't believe that Diggs is what Diggs used to be, if that secondary comes out and get torched tonight, they are going to eat the Cowboys alive about ruling Trayvon Diggs out. They are going to eat the Cowboys alive. The countdown is on for Trayvon Diggs. The Cowboys literally only have this week. They have this week to decide whether or not Diggs is going to play. I'm telling y'all now, I've been thinking about this. I slept on this last night. I'm not sure the Cowboys are done with Trayvon Diggs. I think it all depends on how they do tonight. I really do. I think it all depends on how they do tonight. Because I got a strange feeling if that doggone secondary gets torched, Jerry Jones will be in that office tomorrow, and he's going to make phone calls, and he's going to tell Brian Schottenheimer, Trayvon Diggs is playing the next game. Click. He hanging up the phone. I got a strange feeling. If that secondary gets torched tonight, we're going to circle the block on this. I'm telling y'all, we're going to circle the block on this. Because a whole lot of people going to come out on the Cowboys if that secondary gets torched tonight. Boy, I'm telling you. I'm telling y'all this game is pivotal. I'm telling y'all, Matt Eberflus, the criticism for Matt Eberflus, Jerry might as well start looking for a new defensive coordinator. Because if Matt Eberflus' defense don't come out banging tonight, shoot. Nah, bro, it's over for him with this fan base. Shoot, you want to talk about a rally cry? Shoot, boy. I'm not going to count Diggs out yet. Because Diggs may be the scapegoat for him. Because if they get torched tonight, Jerry, just for the sake of trying to get some heat off Matt Eberflus, says Diggs plays next game. I don't care what y'all saying. And Brian Schottenheimer, I'm going to tell you something. Jerry has a funny way of doing things. Jerry will give you a lot of rope until you start failing. And then Jerry will start pulling that rope back. Man, let me tell y'all something. Y'all thought that Green Bay loss was a disappointment to Jerry? Shoo, let Brian lose this one. Let Brian lose. I'm telling y'all, if I'm Jerry Jones, I don't want to have this conversation. But I would have this conversation. I would have this conversation. I would have already had this conversation. If I'm Jerry Jones, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm on edge tonight with this one. If I'm Jerry Jones, I would have called Brian Schottenheimer this week. Brian, I love you. But I'm not accepting the loss tonight. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm coming like this. Brian, I'm not accepting the loss tonight. Dak, CD, George Pickens, Cooper Beebe, Tyler Booker, Ty Smith, Javonte Williams. I'm not accepting the loss tonight. Matt Eberflus, Quentin Williams, Demarion Overshown, Jadeveon Clowney is playing tonight. I'm sure he's playing tonight. Kenny Clark, Oso Digizua, Donovan Ezeraku, Dante Fowler, Logan Wilson, Savon River Jr. is back on the field. Deron Bland. You tell me anything you want to about Deron Bland, we played him. I expect you to put him in a situation to succeed. Don't tell me what you don't have, because I'm telling you what you do have. I'm not accepting a loss tonight. That's where I am with this, if I'm Jerry. I would have had this conversation. I would have had this conversation. I am not accepting a loss tonight. Not me. Not if I'm the Cowboys. I'm not. If I'm Jerry, I'm not accepting it tonight. Corliss Piper said, can Eberflus give that pep talk to the defense? You know what? Maybe he could if somebody had a pep talk with him. Because I'm telling you now, if I'm Jerry, I'd have already talked to him. Bro, I'm just letting you and Brian know right now, I'm not accepting the loss. If we lose, I'm telling everybody. I'm telling them too. If we lose, y'all will be in my office on Monday. And they're going to be big changes. I'm telling you. This game right here, for me, this game for me is how Brian Schottenheimer truly wins the trust of Jerry Jones. Can you come out after a 10-day break against the Minnesota Vikings? Can you have my team fired up? Can you have them on edge? Can you have them flying all over the field? Can you show me some creativity on offense? Can you put up points on them? And can you stop them from scoring? And can we mollywop Minnesota? I want to know. I want to know, can they rise to the occasion? Because enough's enough. There can be no excuses playing teams like the Arizona Cardinals, who you know you have more talent than, and getting beat by them. It is no excuse for J.J. McCarthy. When you tell me J.J. McCarthy is the quarterback, I don't care what you say after that. He ain't beating me. If he beat me, heads rolling. I'm telling you now. Hey, J.J. McCarthy beat us, heads rolling. Heads rolling. Key matchups again. Dak versus Brian Flores blitz. I'm going to tell y'all something about Brian Flores. I think Brian Flores is going to look at the film on this. And I think Brian Flores may shock us tonight. We'll see about all the things I'm going to tell y'all after this game tonight. I think Brian Flores may shock us. I think Brian Flores may be very selective with the way that he blitzes tonight. We're expecting him to come out with an onslaught of just blitz after blitz after blitz. But you can't play Dak Prescott like that. You cannot play Dak Prescott like that the entire game. And in the words of John Gruden, he's going to gut you. You don't play Dak Prescott like that. And especially with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb and Ryan Flanoy now. I think Ryan Flanoy is going to be the starting wide receiver in the third receiver spot. No, you're not playing the Cowboys like that. I will not be surprised if Brian Flores plays the Cowboys real slick. He's going to be real selective about how he blitzes and when he blitzes. I want to see Shotty versus Brian Flores. I'm telling y'all right now, man, Brian Flores wants to prove to this league he's a head coach. He wants to prove to this league he's a head coach. I want to see what Shotty looks like against Brian Flores. It is going to be a chess match. Cowboys D-line versus Aaron Jones and company. Y'all know what happened the last time we saw Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones is one of those type of runners. He's very versatile. Aaron Jones don't have to run between the tackles on you. Aaron Jones can hit you with them outside runs. He can hit you with them sweeps. He can hit you in the passing game with screens. Aaron Jones is a different type of running back. The Cowboys going to have to be ready because teams are running away from the teeth of the Cowboys defense, which is those defensive tackles. They're just running away from them. Pickens and Lamb versus the Viking secondary. Is Brian Schottenheimer just going to let Brian Flores put everything in front of him and take what they give him rather than Brian Schottenheimer said, no, I'm going to scheme these guys open and we're going to take some deep shots. Nate Thomas and Steele versus the Vikings pass rush. That is going to be something to watch tonight. I don't think the middle of our offensive line is going to have any problems. I think the problems are going to come from the outside because if I'm playing the Cowboys, that's where I'm blitzing them from. Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is due for a big game. I'm actually more excited about Revel Jr. going against Justin Jefferson than I am DeRon Bland. Because for some reason, when DeRon Bland goes up against these really good wide receivers, somebody throws rope around his legs and his feet get tangled up. I want to see Eberflus against O'Connell. Y'all do know O'Connell is a pretty good play caller, right? It's a pretty good play caller. I want to see what the Cowboys do. Cowboys cannot beat themselves with penalties, and the Cowboys cannot put this thing in the hands of the referees. I want the Cowboys to start out fast tonight, and I want them to start with the passing game, even though I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to do it, but I think they need to start with the passing game. I think they need to come out and put the Minnesota Vikings on their heels. I want to see a great offensive game plan from Brian Schottenheimer. None of this slow start nonsense. I want him to start fast. I want him to move Pickens and Lamb around. Floyd Noy as the third wide receiver most of the game. And they are going to have to beat the blitz, but I think he's going to be very selective at how he does it. Let's go to the defense. I need this defense to get 6 stops tonight. I need them to get 6 stops and force 2 turnovers by J.J. McCarthy. If the Cowboys can force 2 turnovers by J.J. McCarthy, they are going to win this game. Hands down, they're going to win this game, and they're going to win it big. Pressure up the middle on J.J. McCarthy. Stop the run. But I do think they're going to run away from the Cowboys' defensive tackles, and I think they're going to try to hit them on the edges. The Cowboys need to use Agent Zero in blitz packages, and they need to move him all around. Stop this rotation they got of Williams and Clark. Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark being off the field. They need both of them on the field at the same time most of the time, and you never have them off the field at the same time unless the Cowboys have the ball. Cowboys got to play physical, and they're going to have to stop Justin Jefferson. Because I'm telling you now, I guarantee you O'Connell is going to give them a full dose of Justin Jefferson. Special teams, Brandon Aubrey again. No, only extra points. Not a lot of field goals. Turpin and that fair catch nonsense. Stop that this game. Turpin needs to get his head back into the return game and stop putting him out there immediately after the kickoffs. Let him sit out. If you get a couple of first downs, you bring him in. But I need you to bring him in for big plays. I need to see more big plays from Clark and company like they made. I'm almost forgetting the game. I think it was the Philadelphia Eagle game. I would love to see some more stuff like that. Block, punt, block, kick, whatever the case may be. This is how I predict the game to come out tonight. I think Dak Prescott will beat the blitz if Brian Flores sells out all night on it. I think if he sells out all night on it, it's going to be a big night. And I think Dak Prescott is going to destroy them with big throw after big throw. Big game for Pickens and Lamb. And I think it's also, though, going to be a big game from Justin Jefferson because I'm not necessarily worried. I just wonder if they have an answer for him. I do think inside of all of this stuff, Dak's going to be running for his life. I do. This is going to be a tough game. I think O'Connell is going to run some more against the Cowboys, and he's going to try to set them up for big play action passes. Brian Flores is going to come out and put on a show against the Cowboys. Because I still say Brian Flores wants to prove to this league that he is a head coach and a great defensive mind. This is a playoff game tonight. I'm still predicting the Cowboys win this game 37-27. But if things don't go right, I still see it being close. I still see the Vikings winning 34-30. But I believe the Cowboys are going to win this game 27-37. Let me read comments on the way out of here. Larry Golden. He said, I hope the Cowboys have your intensity. They'll win tonight. Appreciate you. Pooby D. He said, we will see tonight how good our coaching is. Again, standing ovation, Pooby D. We have to play like this game means something. That's exactly right. Shoot. Corliss Piper, 8 million lights and walls. That's where I am on this thing. Don't tell me no more, Brian. Show me. Pooby D, we got to handle our business. You right, and it's our business. Tim Pinelli, God bless. United strong in Jesus' name. Hallelujah, amen. Yes, sir. Hey, Pooby D, this is where I am too. Shotty been coaching for 30 years. He is not a rookie coach. I'm not going to give him that rookie coach nonsense, especially when you got the Minnesota Vikings coming in here, and we have more talent than the Minnesota Vikings. Marchietto said everyone lost that we needed to accept Philly. That'll be next week. Dallas has to show up and show out, G. Yes, sir. JTX made. I'm telling you, I agree with you. Diggs was a part of getting torched earlier this year. But I'm going to tell you this. I guarantee you everybody going to circle the block on that. Because they're going to say, why didn't you play Diggs? They're going to be saying, well, Diggs could have at least done that or done better than that. I'm telling you. Richard Roster, he said, we better have a fast start. I'm with you, Richard. I'm with you. Pooby D, Diggs should be playing. Pooby D, let me tell you something. Everybody's going to join that rally cry. Everybody's going to join that rally cry. If that secondary gets torched. Mont Bob, he said, your prophecy is playing out. Mont Bob, I'm telling you, all the Cowboys have to do is win out. Pooby D, I can't do nothing but agree with you on Triquez Bridges. Traquez Bridges, no way. Richard Royster said that should at least had him dressed up. You never know what happens. Good point. Corliss Piper says stick a fork in Diggs, he's done. I have a feeling that could be the announcement this week. David Everett said I would fire Eberflus because you have not had I would fire E because you have not had a healthy defense all year long. You have to have healthy players to win. Okay, you said you wouldn't fire him. Well, I'm going to tell you this. They're healthy now. They're healthy now. We're better than the Minnesota Vikings. You better not let J.J. McCarthy come out here and do us up. KH said if he said that he's ready, then feelings need to be put aside and see what's up. We're gonna circle the block on this after the game. We'll be back for the post-game show. Mose Logan, what up with you? He said they need to play Butler. He said he's ready too. Ron Hanna said, man, as much as I'm done with Diggs, but G is right. If we get smoked, Ron Hanna, let me tell you something. That secondary better not torch the Cowboys tonight. That Trayvon Diggs rally cry gonna be loud. Big Rumbowski said the Vikings torch our secondary. With as bad as J.J. McCarthy has looked all year long, with the Diggs controversy added onto it all, that's the Cowboys drama that makes me go, yes, sir. And it is going to be drama. KH said Eberflus needs to know how to adjust. I agree. Larry Golden said we have far too much talent to be losing like we do, and a lot of the losses came from stupid mistakes and predictability. Ron Hatter said, gee, I agree, can't accept the loss tonight. I'm not accepting it. And Jerry shouldn't accept it. Oh, wow. Michael Parsons torn ACL. I hate that, bro. When I saw Parsons hurt, bro, it really made me feel bad. Because every time, there's just certain times I look at Parsons and I go, this man should be in Dallas. Terrible way to end the season. Man. David Everett said, why make the playoffs just to get knocked out in the first round? David Everett, let's make the playoffs. I don't think they get knocked out in the first round. Quentin Johnson, what up? He said, I caught you live. Yes, sir. This is Q Ball. Awesome show. Appreciate you. Yeah, hey. Corliss, I knew it, man. I knew it. I hate that, bro. I hate that. Hate that for Michael Parsons. Dale Jordan said they have to start with energy. I agree. Chenard, I agree. No excuses. Win this doggone game tonight. Dare said, let's go get this win tonight. Brady said, G need to coach the Cowboys. Yeah. I tell you this, I can definitely give him some pep talks. Albert Donaldson, what's going on? We're going to be back after the game. Poopy DG, he said, I'm with you. We better show up and show out. Shoot, they better show up and show out tonight, boy. I'm going to be mad. Ron Hanna, bro, I'm telling you, I don't think he's going to blitz as much either. I think Brian Flores is going to be very strategic. You watch what I tell you. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here, man. I look forward to seeing y'all in the post-game show, and we're going to see what it do. And I'm hoping that we are coming back with the victory. We better come back with the victory. Gippy! Save that for the post-game show. I'll see y'all at the post-game show. Let's go, Cowboys. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys when we talk facts. Peace.